All right. Welcome to the Herb Man T podcast. I am your host, Herb Man T.
Spectate.
I'm feeling real good. Hello. Again, welcome to the podcast, episode 13. If you want to support the podcast, head over to patreon.com/herbmant, patreon.com/herbmant. Today's topic or topics is going to be about UTIs, prostate problems. And I had a question about HSV, a question about the remedy to eliminate HSV, bags under the eyes, and liver health. I will be giving you herbs on all of those topics. So the main two topics, urinary tract infections and prostate problems. So first off, what are symptoms or what is a urinary tract infection? The urinary tract is infected with a bacteria or some type of unwanted substance that the body wants to get out of the body. So they don't always cause these symptoms, but they may include a strong urge to urinate that doesn't go away, a burning feeling when urinating, so irritation in the urethra, urinating often, so could be that the bladder is being overstimulated. Urine that looks cloudy. I don't know about that one. Urine that looks cloudy kind of reminds me of a detox symptom. Urine that appears red, bright pink, or cola colored. That's a problem. That is a problem. Strong smelling urine, that could be signs of detoxing as well. Of course, depending on what did you do to cause that. If you haven't been eating a lot of fruit, berries, and melons, or fruits, berries, and melons, then it's probably something else going on there. And then pelvic pain in women. And then there are different types of urinary tract infections, from the kidneys being more so affected, the bladder, or specifically the urethra. Now, anytime I think of urinary tract infection, I think of uva ursi or bearberry. It is a antimicrobial and is specific to the urinary tract, so it can help to eliminate any type of unwanted substance from the urinary tract. It's also a diuretic, so it can help to stimulate or promote the kidneys. Some other actions of uva ursi leaf are anti-inflammatory, astringent, so tones and tighten tissues, as well as a demulcent, which I haven't known it to be that known for its demulcent actions. Another herb to observe for UTIs, you have cleavers. It is also another anti-inflammatory, astringent. It's also alterative and diuretic. So anti-inflammatory reduces inflammation. Astringent tones and tighten tissues. Alterative moves lymph, and diuretic promotes the stimulation or promotes the kidney's function. So it also moves lymph as well. It is also a lymphatic tonic, so it can be used to tone organs in the lymphatic system. And then this one, I forgot about its effects on the urinary tract. I'm so used to hearing or talking about it for the liver, but that is Oregon greatroot, also known as barberry. So you have uva ursi leaf being also known as bearberry, and Oregon greatroot, also known as barberry. I had those herbs on my shelf, and for a second, I thought I misprinted or wrote the names wrong, but it's easy to tell the difference if you actually own the herb or herbs. One is a leaf and the other is a root. One is more green, the other is more yellow. And the Oregon greatroot, which is the yellow one, it resembles poke root in a way. So you have to be careful if you're going to purchase Oregon greatroot and poke root. Make sure you label your dried herbs when you purchase them. But Oregon greatroot is an antimicrobial, so it can help to clean the body or eliminate infections. It is a bitter and hepatic stimulant. So bitter can promote the digestive system's function, and hepatic stimulant can promote the liver's function. And the last herb I'm going to talk about for UTIs was corn silk. It is a demulcent, vulnerary diuretic, as well as an anti-lithic, so it can help to remove or dissolve stones in the kidneys. Just in case you need a little help there when getting rid of the UTI, it is also anti-inflammatory as well. So the demulcents can help to soothe mucous membranes. Vulnerary can be used to heal tissues. All right, the next topic is prostate problems. So when talking about prostate problems, you have prostatitis, so inflammation in the prostate, BPH, which causes the prostate to enlarge or grow, and then, of course, prostate cancer or abnormal cells in the prostate. So in order to observe for prostatitis or inflammation of the prostate and or BPH is hydrangea. It is a diuretic and anti-lithic, so it can help to remove stones as well as promote the kidneys function. And you could have some irritation in the kidneys that could, let's say, bleed over into the prostate, because the prostate is responsible for fluid function going through the urethra. That's as simple as I can explain it. Let's see. So basically what happens if the prostate enlarges, us men will have hard times urinating. So the prostate becomes too big. Now we have all this urine building up in our bladder, and it can't get out through the urethra, which is a major, major problem. And the prostate helps with that function, basically helps us to urinate. Another herb you can observe for prostate issues is saw palmetto berry. It is anti-inflammatory as well as a reproductive tonic. The prostate is a part of the male reproductive system. So anti-inflammatory, reduce inflammation. Reproductive tonic can be used to strengthen the reproductive system in both men and women. And it has specific use for disorders of the prostate, such as acute and chronic prostatitis and BPH, especially milder cases not requiring surgery. Now, when using herbs, some herbs don't contain, or some herbs are not water soluble, meaning that you won't get the full benefits of the herb if you were to use them in tea form or infuse or decoct them. And saw palmetto berry is one of those herbs. It's best to find this herb in an extract or tincture form. And the last herb I'm going to mention for the prostate is couch grass. It is a diuretic, demulcent, and antimicrobial. So diuretic can promote the kidneys function. Antimicrobial can be used to eliminate unwanted substances. I just like saying that versus being, but antimicrobial also, it could be antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral. And demulcent can help to soothe the mucous membranes. And you have mucous membranes all throughout the body, but couch grass can show a specific effect in your urinary system. So maybe using urinary infections such as cystitis. I can never pronounce this, but inflammation of the urethra and prostate, and inflammation of the prostate. All right, moving on. Herpes. So what was that question about? I don't have it on. All right. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have it on screen share. So yeah, hello. I recently found out about HSV2 diagnosis and it's currently dormant. Do you have any other tips that can help me get rid of the virus? Thank you for your help. Well, they say the whole virus thing isn't real, as in these, they never really found, or there was never really a defining point of what a virus was, or they actually found one. So I just say getting rid of unwanted substances. So tips on getting rid of any type of V word: you got to move lymph. You have to get kidney filtration going, because if you're going to move it out, it will be through the kidneys. All right. And when talking about moving it out through the kidneys, first it has to enter into the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is your sewer system, and it is responsible for removing waste out of the body. So to promote the movement of lymph, you want to go all raw. Specifically, you want to focus on 100% fruits, berries, and melons. Light walks, light exercises. That way it can help you to promote sweating, which is another way to move lymph. And then herbs, of course, herbs for the kidneys, bare minimum, and that would be herbs like your hydrangea root, couch grass, uva ursi leaf, marshmallow root, and much, much more. The next question I had was, how often do you use this remedy before it's eliminated out of the body? So this is a question pertaining to a video I made on TikTok a couple months ago. I think it was over a year ago at this point. I mentioned how herbs such as red clover blossoms, hyssop, lemon balm, and licorice root can help to eliminate the virus. And what I meant by that is it will make it go dormant, so you don't have all this irritation going on your skin. So then you can focus more on moving it out via fruits, berries, and melons. So all the herbs I mentioned were to inhibit, or there's been studies done on these herbs showing activity against the virus that will keep it dormant. So you can use these herbs 1, 2, 3 times a day. You can just pick one of them and use them. But it's important before even thinking about using the herbs is, what exactly are they going to do other than inhibit the virus? Number one, look it up. Make sure what I'm saying is correct, and you can find this stuff online. Eventually, I'm going to start putting articles and studies underneath certain episodes. That way, you can see that this is really what it is. Some herbalists, some online herbalists do their research, and some don't, and some just say things or regurgitate what others are saying. But I'm happy to say that some people have reached out to me and said that, basically they fact checked me and they found that, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. So going back to the herbs, like for example, lemon balm, let's say you have HSV and you want to consume lemon balm. Well, you need to know that it can inhibit thyroid function. So if you have a hypothyroid and you have the HSV, it's probably not a good idea to use lemon balm. Also, another example, licorice root, it can raise blood pressure. Well, if you have high blood pressure and you have HSV, it's probably not a good idea to use licorice root, and so on and so forth. So it's important to research the contraindications and toxicities of herbs before use. That's why when I do have my herbal clips on social media, I do my best to put under all my videos, be sure to research the toxicity and contraindications of herbs before use, because safety is always number one. All right, so next question I had was about bags under the eyes. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Here we go, right there. All right. Hello, good morning. I always follow your page and it's benefiting me a lot. I have a question. I am years old and I have under eye bag, which uncomfortable me to go out without glasses. What do you think is going to help? Yeah, so there's definitely an adrenal gland weakness going on. Could be a lack of sleep happening as well. And if I'm saying that it is an adrenal gland weakness, there is a chance that the pituitary gland can be involved, because the adrenal glands and the pituitary gland are part of the same system, and that is the endocrine system. And then even when you're getting into saggy or loose skin, connective tissue problems. Now you want to focus on the parathyroid, which is also a part of the endocrine system. So overall, an endocrine system issue with a specific focus on the adrenal glands, which could then tell you that there could be something wrong with the kidneys as well, because the adrenal gland sits on top of the kidneys, and they help each other as well as harm each other. So if you're having an adrenal gland weakness problem, you would want to work on the kidneys and the endocrine system as a whole. But right now, I will just focus on giving information on herbs to promote the adrenal gland function. And these herbs tend to have an action known as adaptogen. So the herbs I will mention will be Siberian ginseng, the licorice root that I mentioned earlier, as well as ashwagandha. Now, ashwagandha root may not be the best choice because it also has sedative actions. And if you're already extremely tired, that might not help. But not only that, it's a general tonic, so it can help to tone and just generally strengthen the body. Reason being, it is an adaptogen and it can help the body. Adaptogens help the body adapt to stress or physiological stress. So adaptogens are seen as herbs to support the general wellness of the body. But ashwagandha root is a general tonic. It's rejuvenating. It's a sedative, adaptogen, immunomodulator, anti-inflammatory, and aphrodisiac. Licorice root is an adrenal tonic, so it can help to strengthen the adrenal glands. Anti-inflammatory, expectorant, so it can help get rid of excess phlegm. I was stuck between saying phlegm or mucus. I wanted to say phlegm. It's also hepatoprotector, so it's great for protecting the liver. Anytime you hear hepatic, think liver. It's a mild laxative as well as an antispasmodic. And then erythro root or Siberian ginseng is an adaptogen and general tonic, immunomodulator, and stimulant, as well as hypoglycemic. So understand the energy levels are definitely weak. Something's happening with the connective tissue, and you just got to go back and bring balance to that endocrine system as a whole. Also, food is number one, no matter what problem, whether it be the UTI, the prostate, HSV, etc. Always want to focus on food. What you eat is extremely important. And then the last question I had was about liver health. What is good for liver health? So, as I mentioned before with the hepatic statement, anytime you hear an hepatic action, whether it be hepatoprotective, hepatic tonic, or you would hear herbs like cholagogues or choloretics or coloretics. I still got to figure out the pronunciation of that word. They in some way help the liver to function. So an herb I'm going to mention is Oregon grape or Oregon grapefruit, the same herb I mentioned before for the UTIs. Again, it is an antimicrobial, bitter, as well as hepatic stimulant. And dandelion root, which is a choloretic. So choloretic can promote the production of bile. It's also a cholagogue, can promote the movement of bile. Bile is something that emulsifies your fats, helping out the pancreas. So then the pancreas can break down your fats into tiny droplets. That way they can then be absorbed through the intestines into the lymphatic system. It is also a tonic, bitter, and alterative. So alterative, move lymph, and bitter promote the secretion of digestive juices in the digestive system. Yeah, I made it to the end of this live. Yeah, OGK, the queue has been filled up for video requests. So if you could just message me over on Instagram. I'll just type it real quick. Yeah, message me on Instagram. So if I get in here right now. Yeah, all right. Thank you over here on TikTok for all the likes. Much appreciated. Yeah. And that'll be the end of this live. Thank you all for joining. If you want to support the podcast, go head over to patreon.com/ErbManT, patreon.com/ErbManT. And until next time, peace. I'm feeling real good. Feeling like I never knock on wood. Studying my health, I think you should. Be a better you every day, keep it true. I'm feeling real good. Feeling like I never knock on wood. Studying my health, I think you should. Be a better you every day, keep it true. And be held accountable for everything that you do. Be surrounded by the ones that are loving you. Growing never sink unless you sinking in the shot. While you in the fourth quarter and the haters sit and watch. They don't wanna move. They wanna sit and talk, never do. Don't you worry about them, strive to improve. And when they gunning for your queen, kinda move. They don't wanna move. They wanna sit and talk, never do. Don't you worry about them, strive to improve. And when they gunning for your queen, kinda move. I'm feeling real good. Feeling like I never knock on wood. Studying my health, I think you should. Be a better you every day, keep it true. I'm feeling real good. Feeling like I never knock on wood. Studying my health, I think you should. Be a better you every day, keep it true. I'm feeling real good. Feeling so good.